Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us once again. My name is Calaneet Balas, and I have the honor and privilege of being the chair of the International Alliance, and I get the joy of welcoming you today for the 2021 Allied Professionals Forum, or as we call it, the APF. I'm sure you'll be hearing that over the course of the next several hours. I'm so glad that we could all get together. I know we're together again in a virtual format. And while it might not be ideal, I'm really glad that we can at least come together once again. As you know, we switched back to a virtual format last year due to all the challenges that we're all facing together in COVID and the daily changes that are coming our way. And so we're here again today to try to come together, share information, have some camaraderie, and we're going to do it in a virtual format so that we can do that in the best and safest way possible. Now, remember, it doesn't matter that we've been doing this for almost 2 years. The fact is that anytime we get together, technology usually gets in our way in one form or another. So I just want to thank you ahead of time for your patience on whatever technical glitch is going to happen, whether it's in our first session or our session later on. And in addition, it's also my pleasure just to maybe give you a little bit of background on the International Alliance if you're not as familiar with our organization. So the International Alliance, our name actually implies exactly what we are, because it's the International Alliance of ALS and MND Associations. So we're a global network that you're a part of. We're a global network of associations that are informed, truly informed by people living with ALS and caregivers of ALS and MND. And what we do is we focus on building capacity for our members and really connecting all of our external stakeholders. And no more, I think, has this been a real reality and a pulse that everyone has felt in over the past 2 years. The objects of our charity are the relief of pals and cows in education and awareness. So what does that mean? It means that we're a collective of organizations. And while we don't necessarily work directly with people living with ALS and MND and their carers, we do focus on indirect providing, again, that capability and capacity building for our member organizations and really sharing a tremendous amount of information and resources. And I know that many of our members have seen the value of that over the years, and really over the last several years as we've expanded our own capacity and capability. And our values really reflect this. We serve our organizational members, we value both care and research, and we try to do this with the utmost integrity and transparency. So many of us have heard the phrase, rising tides lifts all boats. And that means we're stronger together. And we're stronger together as opposed to independently. And I was thinking about this phrase over the last few days because there's another saying that maybe you've heard, is that we're all in this storm together. And we are. We're all in the storm together, but we are all in our own boats. And some of our boats are smaller, some of our ships are larger, some of the waves are hitting us harder at different times. And I just want to say thank you for being in the storm with me, with the International Alliance, with your APF colleagues, because while we're experiencing the same, we're also experiencing something that's very different. But we are all trying to lift our boats out of the days that we've been living through, and also gathering the information so we continue the fight against ALS and MND. And I appreciate your role in that. And I thank you for still coming on this screen, still getting up either really early in the morning or maybe turning on the screen when it's really late at night. And if you happen to be somewhere in Europe or Israel, you get the blessing of the middle of the day. But I thank you for your continued tenacity, our continued conversation, And we're going to do that more today. So just so you know, our vision, and I think it is our vision, is a world free of ALS and MND. And we're going to continue to be that big tent organization that welcomes members into our community, helps them build the capacity, helps them serve people living with ALS and MND and their families. The key stakeholders are you. And today we welcome the allied health professionals. Some of you know that I think it was now 2 years ago, when we were in Perth together. And I said that this is often one of my favorite portions of our program, because when you walk into the allied professionals meeting, to me, it always feels like you're just walking into a big hug. Last year, I mentioned this, saying that we were walking into a virtual hug. And you know what? I still feel that way, even though we can't be together in person. Hopefully that will change next year. So now I will stop talking. I will turn the program over to two amazing women and amazing warriors who are our program chairs. I now want to welcome Sara Feldman and Rachael Marsden to the screen. And Rachael and Sara, the day is yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Calaneet. Thank you for starting us off on such a great note. As you said, the Alliance has supported the allied health professionals. They know that allied health professionals are keys in making sure that people living with ALS, MND are getting the care and support they need. I first attended the APF in 2004 when the international meeting was in Philadelphia, and I knew right away that I had found my home. So you can feel like, so often you can feel like you're on your own, but this conference gave us all access to like-minded people from around the globe, making a difference for people living with ALS, MND, and their caregivers. So with that, I'd also like to share my welcome to the 2021 Allied Health Professionals Forum. My name is Sara Feldman. I'm the physical therapist and assistive technology professional at the MDA ALS Center of Hope, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been the physical therapist for the center since 1994. And as I mentioned, I've been attending the international meetings since 2004. And in addition to my role at the clinic, I'm the clinical liaison to the ALS Hope Foundation, which is an ALS charity based in Philadelphia. And in that capacity, I'm the chair of the PCAC, the Pals and Cows Advisory Council to the International Alliance. I've known Rachael for many of those years, and I'm pleased to welcome her with me here today.
Thank you, and welcome to everybody. As Sara says, I'm Rachael, and I am the nurse consultant at the M&D Care and Research Centre in Oxford. And I've been running this care centre since October 2002. So it's our 20th anniversary next year, and that doesn't make me feel old at all. But I have to say, it's a great honour to be back here with Sara as your moderator for the whole of the 2021 Allied Professional Forum. Even though it's a virtual format, I think it's going to be really astonishing and very, very exciting. And I know we've got a very exciting programme ahead of us. So to start, and really to help us with our goals and raise awareness and support and help with advocacy, every year we have a March of Faces. And this is a virtual and kind of visual display of all those courageous men and women, both past and present, who have been living with ALS, MND. This year we have a video instead of a physical banner that we'd like to share with you. And the music in the background is a song, My New Dreams, and it's by Roy and Terence Taylor. And they launched this song in support of the Irish MND Association in 2020. And when it was launched, it went straight to #1 in the iTunes chart the weekend it was released. So Roy was diagnosed with MND in April 2018 and has gone on to raise not only awareness, but a huge amount of funds with his son, Terence, through their band, Watch Your Back, MND. And Roy has recently released a new song with his 12-year-old daughter, Ella, called I Can't Wait for Tomorrow. And Roy and Terence have very generously given us the rights to use their song as a background for the March of Faces while we're holding our meetings virtually. And for that, we really wish to thank them. And please join us now in watching the March of Faces video.
In my new dream, I climbed a mountain. I could touch the sky, and I felt no pain at all. In my new dream, I walked 100 miles. I could breathe the air, and I felt no pain at all. For love is free, and life is beautiful, and all I can see in a world that's meaningful. Once you believe, then anything's possible. It's worth fighting for. In my new dream, in my new dream, I sang a lullaby, though a happy song, it still made me cry. My arms waved in the air. God reached out to me, and it made me cry. For love is free, and life is beautiful, and all I can see in a world that's meaningful. Once you believe, then anything's possible. It's worth fighting for. In my new dream.
Well, it's difficult to even speak after that video. The March of Faces is an amazing tribute and reminds us all of the reasons why we're here today. And I'd like to add my thank you for all your submissions, and thank you to Roy and Terrence Taylor for that beautiful song in the background.